Good evening. Welcome to the Business News Update. We'd like to thank you for tuning in this evening. This evening, we are going to be focusing on government having to launch the second phase of the Zambia Agribusiness and Trade Project. Another story that's coming up a little later on is the Bankers Association of Zambia welcoming Zambia's credit rating upgrade. The focus much later on will be also on Zambia's money markets. We specifically focus on how the kwacha is performing against the United States dollar, the construction and food and non-food items commodity prices, as well as something to look out for right here on the Business News. Now, government has launched the second phase of the Zambia Agribusiness and Trade Project, a $170 million initiative aimed at expanding access to finance, improving markets and accelerating firm growth in the agribusiness sector. Speaking in Ndola, Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mlenga says the World Bank-funded project is expected to benefit 133,500 Zambians, with at least half being women and youth. He says this particular project aligns with the 8th National Development Plan and will support producer organizations and agribusiness firms through matching grants, technical assistance, and an affordable credit facility. The 5-year project, running from 2023 to 2028, builds on the first phase, which created over 4,000 jobs and attracted $8 million in private investment. It will also finance a modern laboratory and certification facilities to enhance product standards. World Bank Country Manager Dr. Kim Fok has reaffirmed the bank's commitment to supporting Zambia's economic transformation.
A new chapter for Zambia's agribusiness sector as government rolls out a $170 million investment under the Zambia Agribusiness and Trade Project Phase 2. The project aims to boost productivity, strengthen value addition and expand access to finance for farmers and agribusinesses across the country. ZAPT 2 is expected to benefit 133,500 people nationwide, with at least half being women and youth, making it one of the country's biggest target empowerment program in the agriculture value chain.
The project is running for 5 years, and the project's life started the moment the financing agreement was signed by the World Bank and the government of the Republic of Zambia through representation.
The project includes a matching grant scheme where ZAPT 2 will fund 60% of each approved initiative, while beneficiaries contribute the remaining 40% in cash and in-kind support, a model meant to strengthen ownership and sustainability.
So the scope of the project is quite ambitious, with a wide range of activities, as we also heard from the sketch, from the matching grants, business development service support, a line of credit, and the project is also supporting the ministry in its trade facilities.
ZAPT 2 also introduces an affordable line of credit managed by Zanaco and supported by 5 commercial banks, aimed at helping firms that have struggled to access traditional financing.
At the World Bank, we are also supporting primary agriculture production, working closely with the Ministry of Agriculture. But we are also convinced that the transformation of the agriculture sector needs to be driven by markets, and therefore agribusiness sectors up and downstream from primary agriculture.
Beyond financing, the project will invest in a modern laboratory and certification facilities to improve standards and food safety.
To presents yet another opportunity for the Copper Belt to diversify and reduce dependence on mining. As I conclude, I wish to congratulate the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry.
Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mlenga says that the project aligns with the 8th National Development Plan and builds on the success of the first phase, which created over 4,000 jobs and attracted $8 million in private investment.
This round of financing, ladies and gentlemen, that came through ZATIP was not only given by the World Bank to Zambia alone, it was given to many other African countries. We are proud that with you hand-holding us, World Bank, Zambia performed better than any other country in Africa.
For beneficiaries, this investment represents a chance to expand operations, process more products, and connect to stronger markets.
to grow sustainably and to continue to contribute to the economic transformation of our country. Thank you for investing in Zambian entrepreneurs, and thank you for choosing to create an environment where SMEs and farmers can thrive.
Love Mosondesh for Diamond News in Ndola.
In more business news, the Bankers Association of Zambia has described the country's recent upgrade by Standard and Poor's global ratings from selective default, that is to CCC+/C, as a significant move for the financial services sector. According to the chairperson from the Bankers Association of Zambia, Lowani Chibesakunda, says the banks expect the development to stimulate fresh interest from offshore market players and attract increased foreign direct investment and international markets. Now, Ms. Chibesakunda adds that the sector is now looking forward to the finalization of the remaining 6% of external debt restructuring still held by private creditors. She says the process must be completed within the comparability of treatment principles under the G20 Common Framework and in line with the most favored creditors clauses incorporated in the restructured Eurobond.
Following the recent upgrade of Zambia's credit rating by Standard & Poor's, the Bankers Association of Zambia has added its voice to the growing reactions over the development. S&P has lifted Zambia from selective default to CCC+ with a stable outlook, signaling renewed confidence in the country's financial recovery efforts. Bankers Association of Zambia chairperson Lowani Chibesakunda says the upgrade is a significant milestone for the banking sector.
The banking sector expects renewed drive and increased inflow from offshore market players and their locking of foreign direct investment from the international markets. Liquidity costs and access to counterfund funding will now ease with this stable outlook that has been provided. This will open up foreign exchange inflows into the country and will complement the traditional sources from the mining sector and non-traditional exports that we have relied on.
And Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Situmbeko Msokotwane, says the upgrade confirms credibility of government's debt strategy and signals that the country is moving away from a legacy of unsustainable borrowing.
With this rating by the credit rating agency, S&P, and these are obviously independent people, nothing to do with the politics, just pure professional assessment. I think with this rating, which is an improvement, they've come out very clearly to agree that Zambia is making progress in terms of removing our debt problems. So therefore, I think this rating is a vindication to what we've been telling the country, that our country is making progress in terms of debt restructuring, and this of course is what is going to help us to attract more investment, create more jobs, create more business opportunities, and we are delighted as a government that this outcome has come at this period of time.
What this significantly means for our government is a lower rate of borrowing. So that means we are going to see the government now being able to attract more capital at a more favorable rate into the country. And this is going to see potentially an increased capital inflow into the nation as the increased rating and lower default risk from investors attracts more people to actually put money into our economy. It also means the economy is in a better position to even pay back those debts.
The financial sector now awaits the completion of the remaining 6% of Zambia's external debt restructuring still held by private creditors, stressing that this must be done in line with the comparability of treatment under the G20 Common Framework and the most favored creditor clauses in the restructured Euro bonds. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
Well, those are the business news update stories for this evening. But let's now move on and take a look at how the Kwacha is performing against the United States dollar. Now, as of close of business today, this is how the Kwacha is performing against the United States dollar, buying at 23 Kwacha 10 ngwe and selling at 23 Kwacha 42 ngwe. These are average commercial rates for today, the 24th of November, 2025. Coming up shortly, we focus on the construction commodity prices. Thereafter, we have the commodity prices for food and non-food items. We'll be right back. from the construction commodity items, let's take a look at this drain pipe here, which is going for only 557 kwacha 19 ngwe, something you can purchase from any one of the stores within the country. And these stores obviously focusing on items specifically for your household, your kitchen to be precise. But let's move on and also take a look at this hand drill that you can use to make holes through those walls within your home. And this particular driver small pistol drill is going for only 2,840 kwacha 8 ngwe. It's as simple as that. These are the commodity prices for these construction items. Let's move on and take a look at the food and non-food items. That's the commodity prices. We start off now with the food items. I beg your pardon. Starting off with a kg of beef going for 114 kwacha, 2 kg of sugar in between 64 to 70 kwacha. You have a kg of sugar in between 35 to 37 kwacha, 2.5 kg worth of flour at 80 kwacha, 5 kg of nakonde rice in between 140 to 180 kwacha, and a tray of eggs in between 95 to 115 kwacha, 2.5 liters of cooking oil in between 165 to 180, 235 to 300 kwacha gets you 5 liters worth of cooking oil. You have yourself there a 10 kg bag of breakfast meal in between 106 and 139 kwacha. A 25 kg bag of breakfast meal going from between 204 and 235 kwacha. You have your roller meal there for a 10 kg bag of between 90 to 100 kwacha. You need exactly 180 to 195 kwacha to get yourself a 25 kg bag of roller meal. Those are the food items. Let's take a read now at the non-food items and see what we have from 10 rolls of toilet paper. They're going for 70 kwacha. You have 175 grams of toothpaste. For a tube, that's in between 27 to 35 kwacha. A bar of multi-purpose soap in between 35 to 45 kwacha. 500 grams of washing powder at 42 kwacha. 1.5 kg worth of washing powder in between 115 to 124 kwacha. In between 254 and 270 kwacha, that's 3.5 kg worth of washing powder. 1 bar of bathing soap in between 14 to 40 kwacha. And finally, you have 750 mils of liquid hand washing soap for a bottle. You need exactly 35 kwacha to get you exactly that. Those are the food and non-food items for the commodity prices. We take a break. We have more coming up on the news desk.